No better place to be than church when you got to say bless you. Yeah. It was a big sneeze. And did you hear that this is Super Huggy Sunday? That's what I was told when I came in. That's a brand of diaper, Super Huggies. I was going to go ahead and start with a song. I saw you weren't up here yet, though, and it's kind of like the old... Yeah. It's kind of like when the senior senator doesn't arrive, the meeting doesn't start, right? Right? Well, Ellen and Sky got really technical, and they put the words to the sing-along song right there in the program, right? So here we are at the beginning of a year, and let's start with a song called We Begin. Okay? We begin, here's a tune to take us in. Right here is where we begin. We begin, let's double down on love, my friends. This right here is where we begin. Now we could start out anywhere, but we're here now, we're not elsewhere. Right here is where we begin. So let's beautifully bless this place, this blue dot in outer space. This right here is where we begin. And we're singing, we begin. Here's a tune to take us in. Right here is where we begin. We begin, let's double down on love, my friends. This right here is where we begin. And I'm so grateful that we're here together, making memories that might last forever. Right here is where we begin. So let's share a song and a few stories, sing along well. It's glorious, this right here is where we begin. Singing, we begin. Here's a tune to take us in. Right here is where we begin. We begin, let's double down on love, my friends. This right here is where we begin. When our time is said and done and we've taken in such love and fun, thinking about doing it again. Seems that we have reached the end. Remember always, now is when every moment's where we begin. We begin. Here's a tune to take us in. Right here is where we begin. We begin, let's double down on love, my friends. This right here is where we begin. Let's do it again. Singing, we begin. Here's a tune to take us in. Right here is where we begin. We begin, let's double down on love, my friends. This right here is where we begin. Big finish. This right here is where we begin. We begin. You know, that song came out of when David Roth was here. And then I got to see him back at Unity Village, and he was leading this thing. We were writing a song for a kid who was who had a life-threatening illness. And so it's one of the things he does at all these workshops he does one of those songs. And so he says, okay, come up, you sing this song now. Because we were writing a song. You sing that verse. You sing that verse. And he says to me, Steve, why don't you sing our song for this kid? And here's a pretty song to start the year out on. It's one of my favorites of all time was John Denver. So, oh, I'm gonna hate to see it end. I've seen a lot of sunshines, slept out in the rain, spent a night or two all on my own. I've known my lady's pleasures, I've had myself some friends, spent a time or two in my own home. I have to say it now, it's been a good life all in all. It's really fine to have a chance to hang around. Lie there by the fire, watch the evening tide. All my friends and my lady sit and pass some wine around. Talk of poems and prayers and promises, things that we believe in. How sweet it is to love someone, how right it is to care. How long it's been since yesterday. What about tomorrow? What about our dreams and all the memories we've shared? Days they pass so quickly now, nights are seldom long. Time around me whispers when it's cold. Changes somehow frighten me, still I have to smile. Turns me on to think of growing old. But though the life's been good to me, there's still so much to do. So many things my mind's never known. I'd like to raise a family, like to sail away, dance across the mountains on the moon. I have to say it now, it's been a good life all in all. It's really fine to have a chance to hang around. Lie there by the fire, watch the evening tide. All my friends and my lady sit and pass some wine around. Talk of poems and prayers and promises, things that we believe in. How sweet it is to love someone, how right it is to care. How long it's been since yesterday. What about tomorrow? What about our dreams and all the memories we've shared?
Sweet.
Good morning.
What's your name? Having seldom seen you before, you're a part of all of our important days. But we've repeated this one several times because you're always the first Sunday, and this happens on the first Sunday. I love you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Oh, I have stuff. I have a lot of stuff. But do I have this? I just want to be sure we've covered all our stuff bases this morning. Good morning and welcome. If you are with us online, we are so grateful for your presence. And as our hearts reach out to you, through the ethers. In fact, we realize we're connected to one another. There's not distance, there's not really space. There isn't really a division between us based on time or space. Any divisions we hold, we come to see occur in our mind. And so we're receptive in the understanding that where you are, we are as well. And where we are, you are as well. And we welcome you and thank you for bringing yourself to this service. On Sunday morning, we call it White Stone Sunday. We're going to go out and find white stones and share them. If you've never been to a white stone celebration ceremony, we know that you'll figure it out as we go along. It's really dedicated to your well-being, and the well-being of us all. So we greet you in the sanctuary. It's a whole new year. It's a whole new time, except in the place where it's not a whole new time. It's a whole new time to embrace life, we're told. And yet, somehow, we pick it up and walk on as though it's the same old time. It just has a different number. Remember, it's right at 2025 a challenge, perhaps. The bigger challenge, I think, is the one in our hearts, where we really haven't moved on from where we've been, or even from where we think we're going. When you move with the rhythm and the harmony of these times, the question is always present, where are you going? And frequently these days we ask, I don't have a clue. I have no idea where I'm going, where we're going, what's occurring, reoccurring, moving on. In that knowing, we return to the place that we call our faith. Sometimes strong, sometimes not so strong. We return to the realization that faith is not a constant. It's an occasional visitation when we're in the midst of living our life and notice that something in us came alive in a way that makes us feel stronger or more capable or more able to move into and through whatever is occurring in our lives. On this Sunday, the first in January, I have a November-December daily word. We've already retreated into history, but Sam, blessed Sam, has today's daily word. Would you come share it with us? Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Today, Sunday, January 5th, 2025, the daily word is strength. God's strength is my strength. If I identify solely with my human nature, I may feel daunted by the cares and duties and the state of the world itself. When I feel small or ill-equipped to face troubling situations or uncertain circumstances, I remind myself that I am never without the power of divine strength within me. The awesome strength of God is inexhaustible and without limitations. Anything I may be called to face is no match for divine strength. As I grow in spiritual understanding, I realize I need not pray for God's help. Instead, I claim the strength of God as an aspect of my divine identity. I affirm, divine strength is mine. I am strong in spirit. As these words grow in my consciousness, I feel better able to keep life's struggles in perspective and remember I am strong in God. And the verse from Habakkuk 3:19, God the Lord is my strength. Thank you.
Nice. Nice. Yes, we say yes to that. So as I welcome you this morning, I'd like you to welcome one another. Take a minute, not too huggy. Don't overwhelm people. Don't knock them down. If they back up, watch it. But would you take a few moments to say hello to one another? Introduce yourself.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fear relieved. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed. Through many dangers, toils, and snares, we have already come. 'Twas grace that brought us safe thus far, and grace that leads us home.
Yeah, that got you in your seats. We get carried away. We take a little breath, we plunge into the gathering, and something wonderful happens. Mhm. Announcements. Each of you should have a tile and a pen, a marking pen, a Sharpie to write sharply with. Um, so as we move on in the service, you'll need those. Next Sunday, birthday bash. On the 14th, a board meeting. On the 15th, a drumming circle. On the 18th, a men's group. On the 19th, Ireland and Jordan's baby shower. Some of us are very excited about that. On the 26th, a potluck. I always remind you that our prayer team is here to support you. We like receiving requests, and you may place your request in the little brown box on the credenza, or you may submit a request online at unitysv.org. I was working with something this morning that was .net, and I thought, that's too confusing. All I know is .com and .org. When we greet you on a Sunday morning, we say that there is only one presence and one power active in our lives. No matter our spiritual path, no matter our historical personal path, no matter our color, no matter our language, no matter where we come from, in all ways we recognize a oneness that is indissoluble. It cannot be separated. That which we call source, that which we call the one, that which we call the presence, is this inseparable experience and movement that is constantly evolving us, moving us forward on a path of our own seeking, but more than that, from within us, it's a path of emerging, not merging with source, that's always so, but emerging in our awareness of source brings us back to the realization on different levels at different times of understanding. And so when we say there's only one presence and one power active in your life and mine, God the good, omnipotent, we believe from within the depths of our being that we know a truth that we may not have yet realized fully, that we live in a state of oneness, a state of the fruition, of the fullness, of everything that is so much more than we've ever imagined in us, around us, and in and through this world, in and through life itself. So we affirm there is only one presence and one power active in my life together. There is only one presence and one power active in my life. And now, God the good, omnipotent. Together. We can do this. God the good, you were afraid to say it. It might come true. Yeah. The God of all power might just show up among us, within us today. Would that be a stunning experience to share? And yet we're always lighting up. We're always going a little more deeply. We're always progressing on this path that we share. Let me find my stuff. Oh, there are calendars, new calendars. And the exit doors are... So there are some over there, or there's some over there as well. All right, please take the gift of a calendar. And I want to read to you from James Dillett Freeman this morning. James Dillett Freeman was the poet laureate of Unity, and he has several books. He was the head of Silent Unity when I was in ministerial school long, long ago. And he's talking about the constancy of the presence. He says, if you really want the experience of spiritual growth and that deeper realization, and you persistently seek the presence through your attention and your awareness, you will find that presence. I don't know. Will you? Well, it may not show up in the way you imagine or script it, but you find something, the nature of which is indescribable. And when you find it, although you may somehow fluctuate in your awareness or understanding, it does something to you that's indescribable. This seeking does not have to be laborious, he said. Regular periods of prayer are helpful if you have the time and the desire for them. But best of all is this: throughout the day, remind yourself that God is with you. On waking, on sitting down to breakfast, or leaving the house, or starting to work, or taking up a new task, on meeting someone, on discussing a problem, or starting out in the evening, on your time to rest, on your time to think, in your time to reflect. Whenever you feel that you want to align yourself in this strength and freedom and wisdom and peace, remind yourself that God is with you, for it can be no other way. How many times have we prayed or asked and nothing came, or so it felt? How many times did we have something in our heart that mattered so much, and yet it didn't come to fruition? And we began to question whether this stuff works, or if it has meaning or value. You suddenly begin to ask, why do I want this? Why do I want to deepen my experience? Why do I want to know the core of my spiritual nature, or the core of this that I call the one? Why? It seems to be a bit of a bother. I ask, I want, I need, I see someone else in need. And then nothing happens. And I think, well, maybe this is just mind fluff, this faith thing. And then we hear something and it snaps us back into an awareness that we've been longing for something. We've been longing for something that wasn't met by what we ate or or where we hung out, or the trip we took, or the new something we wished for. I mean, suddenly snap back into, this God thing might not just be an extra thrown in at the local spirit shop. Maybe this spirit thing is essential. And what I experience is my varying degrees of being up against that edge of it's time for something new, or it's time for something old to be renewed in the heart, in the soul, in the activity of my life. For those of you who are, but in the fullness of the presence, and no matter what you think is so, no matter what you're projecting onto the moment that you're living, this something is present. Is it real? Does it really love me? Do I have to have its love? Can I be without its love? When it comes down to the baseline, there's something we want more than just what we thought we wanted. And it's deep and it's strong, and it pulsates in the midst of our hearts and our bodies and our minds at all time, through all time, in all life. Because you can't get away from it. We are not paper dolls. Stuck on with sticky tape. We are divine beings who continue to grow and unfold in accord with the divine rhythm and harmony that is present in and through all of life, no matter what. Know that God is with you right now, he said, this minute, helping you to meet the present need. Put out of mind yesterday's regrets and tomorrow's fears. It is right now that God is with you. And you have only one thing to meet, and that's the present moment. You have only one thing to meet. God is with you as you meet it. God is always willing, but sometimes we do not allow help until we've exhausted all our resources. Someone who does not know how to swim exhausts and frustrates himself, herself, in aimless struggles. If he would relax and float, he would discover that the water would support him. I have not had that experience. I am a sinker. I just go from the feet right on down. Well, but I get the metaphor, I do. I'm not great at relaxing either, so. Sometimes we struggle until we're nearly exhausted before we're willing to relax and let God support us. And then we make the astounding discovery that God does support and sustain us, and with a little intelligent effort, we reach the shore. And often success is nearer than it seems to be. Sometimes, where no visible results appear, a great work is being done in the invisible. Fear not. Fear not. The work of God is being done in the visible and the invisible. It's a spiritual work done on heart and mind. So if you should come to a point where you feel like giving up, don't. Or do. I realize all too often that my effort takes me in the direction of not giving up when in fact the answer is right there in surrender. God is with you. Remember that. Old book, Time and Eternity. I wonder sometimes when we go through an experience like the White Stone today, a lot of stones, white stones, and over the last years, how many? I don't know. I've kept them all. I've got them all in a drawer. Can pull them out and find the one that says fulfillment, and I can pull out the one that I repeat or is repeated within me. My yes stone or some version of that, whether it's surrender or whatever it might be. Every one of them has a meaning that unfolds over a bit of time, because we look at it wherever we put these stones. Maybe you just don't put them anywhere. Maybe they just hang out in the car. I don't know. But there's something in you that wants to arise to be a steadying point for you in the upcoming year. A steadying point, something like the wonderful meditations we do where we have a center point that we return to. A word, a simple, maybe it's 2 words, you don't have much more room than 2 words, but the movement into this experience changes each year. Not just the word changes, but you're changed. And engaging in a ritual that exemplifies that change by writing the word, by going through the meditation process, somehow really does hold you. It holds you. It doesn't just steady you. It holds you. It's never, this white stone is never about personal judgment or personal criticism or, I want to be stronger so I can. Why do you want to be stronger? There's a question within the question. Why would you want to be stronger? Well, so I can blah, 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 instead of, no, it's not I want to be stronger. I want to own the strength that is here, present in the midst of my being. The divine presence in the midst of my being is sending forth a message. I want peace in the world. No, well, yes, of course. Of course we do. More than we can speak or imagine. But this is about you and quality or something that comes to you as your true holding. Yes. The one I saw last night when I pulled it out of the drawer was fulfillment. that didn't mean more stuff. It's a felt sense. I remember saying to Kay one day, after I'd done some marathon weekend of spiritual ministerial work, whatever you want to call that. I had done a memorial service and 2 services, and then one other something. And we were driving home, and I was just full of this feeling that if I didn't have another day, it wasn't just enough from the standpoint of too much. It was like, if I didn't have another day, this feeling of fulfillment, a kind of fullness of being was so present, like there wasn't anything missing. Not because I'd worked hard, not because I'd been in service, but because somehow all of that had changed me. And I was open to a feeling of, yes. So when the word comes, it's not because we've thought about it a lot or, kind of programmed ourselves for it. Is it the right word? Is it the wrong word? You can have another word if you wish. There's not one word limited to each of us. We can do this in a broader sense and see and watch how the meaning unfolds. So if you would, Blessed One, sing for us, Get Ready My Soul, then I'll take us into the meditation and into the writing of the stone.
Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. So get ready, my soul. Everything I've ever done, everything I've ever seen, everything I've lost or won, and everything I've ever dreamed has brought me here to the present moment, here to a new beginning, here, and I'm seeing life so clearly now. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. So get ready, my soul. 'Cause here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. So get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. So get ready, my soul. So get ready, my soul.
Nice song. Isn't that a good song? Periodically, I say to Steve, try this.
Yeah, no, thank you.
I like it too. So, where are we going? Where are we going? Are you curious? I mean, given your state, how you are now in your life, or what has emerged, what pulls you? What tickles you? What stirs you? And what have you sent into the ethers? We move from states of fear into openness. We move from states of blindness, when not seeing something, can't see it, can't see, into having the scales removed. We move from freedom into wilderness states. We move from high energetic places into thinking that all the energy in the world has gone around you and left you without enough. But that's the wonder of all of this. None of it stays. Well, not unless we work really hard to keep it like that. And even then, it doesn't stay. The spiral picks us up and twists us around one more time into a new state of being. And that's what I affirm for you. A new comfort, a new peace, a new sense of self, a heart that has been broken, but is coming back together in ways you didn't dream. Obstacles that seemed as though they were totally insurmountable, but somehow it came to pass. Health challenges that were so harsh, emotional challenges, all the things. And yet, I see you. I see you. I know who you still are in the midst of these things that have come to pass, and that you can draw on that steadfast presence to support you in whatever is coming next. And I know that only because you've come so far. If it were not true, he said, I would have told you so. To him who overcomes, I will give some of the hidden manna. I will also give her a white stone with a new name written on it. only known to him who receives it. To the one who overcomes. I think sometimes just standing in the wind and letting it, you can't move against it, is a state of overcoming when within you're standing in that state, but it becomes what is. And it's okay as what it is. Or it's not okay and we struggle against it. But here are the words, and they come from Revelation again. To him who overcomes, to her who overcomes, to that which overcomes. Do we have to overcome? Well, we do. Not because we have to, but because we do. It's in our nature. I will give some of the hidden manna, and I will also give you a white stone with a new name written. And last, just as I lead in this thing about grace, we walk in grace there and all around us. Ellen, can you bring the lights down? If you would hold the stone and your pen just lightly in your hands. I invite you to, without force, without effort, to allow your body to relax. Your breath, your heartbeat, your finger on your pulse. Lead the way into the center of love. Into the center of clarity. Into the center of God. Your pulse beats a rhythm that is known by the universe within you. You feel it and you think, there's something in me. I may not see it, but here I can feel it. There's a rhythm in me, aligned with a source of life that leads me more deeply inward. I can feel my heartbeat. And I know that my heartbeat is the heartbeat of the one. And I breathe, and I know this process of moving within with breath and allowing breath to release me. And in the rhythm of that, I am the very breath of the one. the journey. The journey is unique and yet the same. We're all journeying in this state of oneness into different experiences of love and letting go and realization and forgetting. But today, we decide to listen for that word, that thought, that, and we listen with our inner ear. What would you have me know? Beloved one, I know. Beloved one, I know you are expanding each of us into a state of higher awareness. Is present in an indescribable way. And I know some symbol, some word, some idea that you want me to know. Something that will give me that perfect and a willing spirit. I imagine a place of great peace. And as I am present in that place, I let go and take in all the presence of guidance. A word, don't force this, don't force this, just be gentle. This is an act of supportive love. When you're ready, take your pen and write on your smooth white stone. And with your writing, sit with that for a moment and feel into it. And when you're complete,